And I say smell is the most underrated sense to exist. I think for France, I think 500 years, 600 years, they've
Like
been doing that.
16th, 17th century,
somewhere
right?
around that time. But India has been doing it since, I think, 3,000-4,000 years minimum.
Global fragrance industry owes so much to India.
If an Indian brand has a fragrance called Madurai and they're selling in India, people wouldn't go and buy. But once they go to Paris and then they see, oh, it's Madurai, it's a city, it's a country, it's a nation, and then they're more excited.
And also I've noticed there is this difference between the millennials and Gen Z. We want to smell rich, basically. We want to smell rich. And with Gen Z, I feel that they want to smell edible. And you know, with so many brands emerging these days, like I swear every month, maybe every 2 months, there's a new brand.
Every day.
Every day. Okay, maybe every day. There is a new brand. But how do you build a successful brand?
Like after COVID, I don't know what happened to the world. They just started spending more. Literally, the graph didn't go like that. It literally went like that.
The most overrated perfume trend that is going on right now. Hi guys, welcome to No BS podcast. My name is Nelia. I'm the founder at Beauty Story, and today's episode smells amazing already. We're gonna dive nose first into an industry that is worth billions, but the one that rarely gives credit to its own roots. Any guesses? Today I'm joined by a very special guest, someone who's got fragrance literally running through his blood. He's the nose, he's the artist, the alchemist behind some of the rarest scent creations in India. Welcome, Amal Jain.
Hi, Nelia. How are you?
I'm good. So good to see you. Thank you so much for coming here.
Oh, it's a pleasure. It's my pleasure.
Because honestly, I couldn't have thought of a better guest for today's episode that is literally only about perfumes. Who better than you, honestly?
More than happy to be here.
You come from this beautiful legacy of Indian perfumery, right?
Yeah.
Yet you also must have experienced that people in India, they don't trust Indian brands when it comes to perfumes unless it has a French name to it or a fancy label.
Yeah, that happens a lot. That happens a lot. I have a story about this. I was in Soho. I was testing some fragrances. I was just doing my thing at the evaluation I generally do. So there was this woman sitting next to me, and I just handed over a strip to check it, like if she likes it or no, just to get an outside view, you know. So she loved it and she took the bottle from me. She sprayed all over herself and she asked me, you know, where is this fragrance from? Which brand is this and everything? Okay. So I'm like, it's not out there. It's an Indian company. It's an Indian brand that I'm working for right now. And her face just went from like 100 to 0, actually minus 100. And then I caught her face. I'm like, what face did you make? What yeah. I asked her, what face did you make?
And she sprayed the perfume all over herself.
All over herself. And she's like, I love it. And then that is when I realized, and I told her, you know, like Indian perfumers or Indian perfume houses or Indian brands are as good as your French, Italian, or any other Western ones, because the ingredients are the same. Everything is the same. The creativity might be different, but it's still there. The quality is still there.
I wish we could change that perspective for people in India and abroad.
I swear.
And I think maybe sometimes even people abroad have more respect to perfumes that come from India rather than people here. That's just my own observation.
Yeah.
I think you only gave me that example of there's this perfume brand called Memo.
Yeah, Memo. Yeah.
Memo, yes. What perfumes do they have that are inspired by India?
So they have this fragrance called Madurai. Yes. So now if an Indian brand has a fragrance called Madurai and they're selling in India, people wouldn't go and buy. Yeah. But once they go to Paris and then they see, oh, it's Madurai, it's a city, it's a country, it's a nation, and then they're more excited. Okay. So I don't understand why.
Same.
It's so crazy.
Trust me. This is actually one of the reasons why I have created TATTVA Perfumes.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if you know this about me, but I've lived in India for over a decade already.
Wow.
And
how's your Hindi coming up?
No, I haven't really tried, but I can follow.
Okay.
That's and my son speaks a bit Hindi. So I'm very proud of that. And I came here and I absolutely fell in love with it. Amazing. You know, the rich history, the heritage, beautiful culture, beautiful people, you know. And what amazed me the most are the scents. You think of, you know, ingredients like sandalwood, oud, jasmine, rose, vetiver, many more actually. Yeah. So that was quite a surprise for me. I had no idea before that they all come from here.
Yeah,
You know? They all come from here.
and one of the best qualities of it comes from here.
Yes.
Like agarwood, rose. Rose you can find in Bulgaria, you can find in Turkey, you can also find in France. But the Damascene rose comes from India, the best one.
Amazing. Honestly, I had no idea unless before actually I dived like into this, but yeah, it changed my whole relationship with fragrance.
Amazing.
You know, and then I realized that is being actually the backbone of today's luxury perfumes as we know. If you look at some most popular luxury brands like Tom Ford, Gucci, their perfumes are nowadays, especially, very based on either oud, sandalwood, featuring, ingredients that they come only from here, actually, right?
True. And even like through the history, we've been the people who have been manufacturing it, creating it, and exporting it to them.
Yes.
Like it's been, I think for France, I think 500 years, 600 years, they've been doing this.
16th, 17th century,
somewhere
right?
around that time. But India has been doing it since, I think, 3,000-4,000 years minimum.
Yeah.
Minimum.
So I think I've read about this. It's been like 5,000 years since Indus Valley. There were basically, it was written in the scripts and Vedas, how they were using aromas, perfume oils.
True.
And even Kannauj, it has a history of at least 1,000 years.
Minimum.
Come from.
Yeah,
we would know
that.
of distilling perfumes traditionally, right?
Yeah.
So this is beautiful history with perfumes that comes
my dad used to say, like, since couple of years back, I think 20-25 years back, even the dirty water that comes out from the factory, they used to smell good as well, because our waste material was rose petals, sandalwood, all these things, the chips of them.
Basically.
Yeah, not chemicals basically. Yeah. So even the nala we say in Hindi, they used to smell really good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I can only imagine.
Crazy. So actually that changed my perspective a lot, especially after I met you and we had this beautiful conversation on this. And I realized that global fragrance industry owes so much to India, right? Yet its legacy is rarely celebrated.
Yeah.
And that is actually one of the reasons I've created TATTVA Perfumes, because I would love to promote this idea that Indian perfumes are some of the best perfumes in the world. It's
agree.
not just French perfumes.
And I'm very thankful to you. You're doing that, honestly.
Thank you. But there's so many brands these days, not just in perfume. Right now, I've heard that some of the Indian whiskey brands are really emerging now.
Yeah.
And they're rated like top in its league, right? And who would have thought some time ago, we would think whiskey Scottish, right?
True.
And now we have our whiskey. I think it's called Amrut.
Yeah, Amrut.
Right?
Yeah, there's one of these brands. Yeah, they're doing great. There's so many other things, like not just this. But I don't understand if people in whiskey industry or somewhere else, they're creating their own thing. They're creating their own brand. Yeah. Why are we still into dupes? India has literally, India has been a nation of creations, like zero. There are so many things that we've created, like our ancestors, our sadhus, babas, everyone, and now we're converting into a nation of dupes.
Yes.
Like everyone is just, okay, even if you're doing it, add some creativity to it. You have perfumers who are making it for you. Ask them to do a twist towards it of your own thing, let something new come out.
Yes, but I also feel that market adjusts to demand.
Yeah.
Since people don't have the trust, for Indian brands or anything that has an Indian name, but they want the French perfume for less of a price.
Yeah.
So a lot of the brands, they're basically selling dupes and they're selling it openly.
And let me tell you one more thing. Yes, it's a thing, because we've been working in Dubai since 1985. So I think around 40 years now.
Yeah.
And there's one thing, Indians go to Dubai to buy fragrances, right?
Yes.
But a lot of people don't know that Arabs come to India and buy fragrances here. Imagine.
Wow.
Yeah, it's so crazy, that we think, okay, we need to go to Dubai, we need to buy this. Yes. But the Arabs, they come here and they buy. And a lot of people who are there, who have their own companies there, who have their own brands there, they're either from India or Bangladesh, the big ones.
Wow. I think even in Russia, I'm from there and I've spent a lot of time there, obviously. We have a lot of respect for stuff that is made in India. Like I remember growing up and stuff that is made in China, we think it's low quality. Something comes from India, it has made in India, we are like, wow, this must be actually good.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah,
So I think that is the perception West has of us, and the perception that we have, that West thinks what they think about us,
Wow.
So it's so different. We need to let ourselves out. We need to let the creativity out. We need to let our mindset out.
Yes. Be proud of what
Yeah,
we are,
our own
where we come
culture, our own
from.
nation. We are
Yes.
creators. Let's be creators.
And you are the creator. And speaking of rich Arabs who come here
Yeah.
that want to buy perfumes here, this is what you do,
Yeah.
right? You create custom perfumes. And you're not just mixing oils in your lab, you're actually, this is a whole art
Yeah,
itself, right? So
it's
just tell me more about the process. If someone wants to make the perfume from
okay.
you, what do they do?
So now we go with two things. So one, somebody wants for their own brand or for their own company, so we do that as well. We understand, and then if a person wants something privately just for them, like a private
Okay.
perfumery, so we do that. So in both the cases, I understand what the person requires. I understand their everyday, like even in private perfumery, I need to understand what they like, what they don't like, about them. It's not the scent, it's them, what I'm creating in a bottle.
Wow.
It's their story, it's their life, it's their choices. I am trying to do something where people just don't have to buy what they're offered, but people buy what they actually want and what they actually need.
Fantastic. This is like, it sounds like a therapy session also. Somebody would come to you, you would talk to them,
Yeah.
you would try to understand them. They might say something like, oh, I want to smell like success.
Yeah.
But you would talk to them for some time. Maybe you realize that actually you want to just feel seen. How do they want to feel while they're wearing that perfume, right?
And now
that's
when you spoke about success, I'm creating a formula right now which smells like your money, the paper.
This is what we were talking.
Yeah, we were talking
please,
about
please.
that.
I need one. I really, really need one.
Done.
That scent of freshly printed
Yeah.
money. It's gonna be a success, Amal. You better launch it.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Yes.
Oh my god. It's been great. Like things, and even the market is changing, I will say for sure. People are, before 10-15 years, the market was like, nobody used to go out for grocery shopping and wear a fragrance. That time it was a desire, but now it's become a necessity. Like even if you go out just to meet a friend down, people go out for the smoke, people go out do anything, right?
When
Or
I
just
go down to the garden, we have a garden down, when I pass people, I can smell the perfume.
Exactly.
Now I can even guess which perfume they're wearing.
Oh, that's
yes,
good.
I'm that good now.
You smelled a lot as well.
I smelled a lot.
So things are changing, people are changing, perception is changing. So this is a good time where people come out with their own originality or the twist or something.
Yeah, speaking of originality, since you make custom perfumes for some of the richest people, as I know, maybe it's a secret, but let's just say, I realized that probably ultra rich people or the real rich people, they don't want to smell like everyone else.
Yeah,
they
obviously.
don't want to walk into a room and somebody tell them, oh, you're wearing this brand, even if it's like a very big brand name, like if it's like Tom Ford or maybe it's Baccarat Rouge, whatever it is. They want to walk into a room, I believe, and just people turn their heads and wonder, who is that?
Yeah.
Who is that? I don't know you, but I'll remember you.
People should be wearing them. People shouldn't be wearing someone else. Okay, wearing someone else or doing things, it's fine. But still, that place, that thing is still empty in people. Maybe there might be a few people who are satisfied with this, but there might be a very less percentage of people who still want more, but they're still not getting it.
True. And speaking of luxury goods, I believe that if you talk about brands like Tom Ford or Gucci, perfume cosmetics, that is the lowest price point in their brands, right?
The entry point.
Entry point, exactly. So if you cannot afford a purse, or you cannot afford clothes from that brand, but you can afford the perfume, it gives you a sense that, wow, I belong there. It gives you a sense like to uplift yourself, your identity. It gives you like, oh, I've bought something luxury, means that I'm a part of that. There's nothing wrong with that. That's beautiful. It also sells, it's a story that is being sold to us, right? So that is something that I also want to talk to you about. What is basically selling a perfume?
It's not just about the scent, it's about the story.
Yes.
It's about the story. It's about where the scent is coming from. Now, when Dior Sauvage was launched, you could have seen those ads, right?
Oh,
with Johnny
Dior
Depp.
Sauvage beautiful ad, by the way. Beautiful ad.
Yeah, the ad was very beautiful. They had a own story about near the sea, how Johnny Depp comes in. It's very dark, very deep. And it took over. And see, it was the story. Now people have started liking the scent.
Yeah.
They got used to it. So it's a balance of everything. You can't just have a story, or you can't just have a product. You need both.
And for a certain segment of people, when they buy a perfume, let's say which is Dior Sauvage, this is their statement. they don't mind that it's a very overused, overrated perfume
Yeah.
because they can say, "Oh, I'm wearing Dior Sauvage."
And it's very safe.
It's a statement.
Yeah,
Also,
but it's
in a
very
way for
safe.
them that, oh, I've got the
The
means to
Dior,
buy it at
yeah,
least,
the Dior
right? So
Sauvage.
it's recognizable,
Yeah.
and then buying Dior Sauvage like
Yeah.
that.
And then people buy dupes of Dior Sauvage and say they're wearing the original.
Yes. Have you tried the dupes?
I have.
Are
A
they
lot
good?
of them don't even smell clothes.
Okay.
Because there's an ingredient called ambroxan, which is like super expensive.
Oh yeah.
And that has a higher dosage of that, the original one.
Yes.
And when it comes to dupe, okay, I understand when it's coming from a manufacturer, it's still okay because they can cover up the cost because they don't have to put the cost for retailer or like the traders or some shop or something, right? But when you buy it from some trader or from a brand, they have a lot of cost over that, so they're obviously going to use a cheaper oil. So in fragrances, I can create the same fragrance in 3 different price points.
Okay.
Which would smell the same, but then either might go away faster.
Okay.
Or smell different.
Wow.
Or use lesser quality of molecules or raw materials or ingredients in that. Not use not use the original oil. Use one of the synthetic molecules that is there. So it can be done.
Okay.
Yeah.
But have you ever tried the expensive perfumes, the branded ones, that are actually very cheap to make? And they use the cheapest ingredients in that. Have you tried any of them?
I don't know if I should name or no. There's one fragrance. There's one brand that I recently tried, which sells for a massive amount.
Okay.
Not a massive amount, but a good enough amount, like which comes into luxury. But that specific variant is not very expensive.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not very expensive. But again,
like,
then marketing and
just
story comes in.
approximately, how do you like? Let's say that this perfume costs this much, but actually the cost of making that, if you break down the ingredients, because I know you have that machine in your lab.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think I don't know if I should say out the margins that people have, but people don't understand that the brands have. See, the margins are massive. The margins are great. I won't deny that. This business margins are good.
Yeah.
But they have a lot of overheads, like when it comes to marketing, branding. So they need to charge.
No, of course.
And business people are doing to make money end of the day, right? It's there's no.
But yet, there are some products, not perfumes, that are actually not cheap to make.
Yeah.
And then there are some products, even like it's in perfumes, that are very cheap to make.
Yeah.
Let's say a perfume could retail for 10,000 rupees, which is not the most expensive one, but let's say it's mid-segment. And then the cost of making that could be as low as 500 rupees.
Yeah.
Maybe even lower than that.
That happens, yeah.
So at the end, we are buying a story,
Yeah.
right? And yet, of course, there are perfumes that use very high-quality ingredients. Like you named the ambroxan. There is oud that retails for how much you've mentioned.
It can anywhere retail from $15,000 to probably $100,000 for a kilo. Depends on the age, how old is it, where is it from, and everything. It's crazy. The industry is crazy.
Wow. Do you know where is the best oud comes from?
It comes from Assam, India.
Assam. Wow.
Yeah. Every oud has a different note to it.
Okay.
But when you use it in fragrances, I think the Indian oud gives a really, really, really good effect to the fragrances. Even I think LV is one of the fragrance, one of the expensive fragrance, the most expensive fragrance by LV is called Pur Oud. I don't think so. They even keep it on the counters.
Okay.
Yeah. You have to ask them.
Oh.
You wouldn't believe when I was buying the fragrance because I wanted to see what's inside and everything. I went to the store here, and one of the women who attended me, she didn't even know that this fragrance existed.
Wow, for the special few.
Yeah. And this is the only fragrance that the price has been appreciated.
Okay.
Yeah. And this was the first time in my life that I have seen a fragrance price appreciating. I think when they had launched, it was probably around 90,000 or 1 lakh. And now when I had got it, I think last year or something, it was for 1,22,000 rupees for a 100 ml bottle. And they have used pure oud inside it.
Okay.
So they are giving you
like the one that I've tried in your lab.
Yeah, exactly. That one.
Oh my God. That oud that I've tried, I realized that before that moment, I've never tried oud.
Thank you.
I swear.
We
It was
just focus
something
on
out
great
of
quality.
the world. I never thought that fragrance could trigger something on you like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought it smells good, whatever.
Yeah.
But then when I tried that, I was like, wow, apparently I had no idea before.
Yeah. And then when it comes to perfumery, it's not always things are smelling great, right?
Yeah,
there are so many
some
raw
of
materials
them
that
are.
we have which smells like sweat, which smells like leather. but it's our job to make it smell good. Like a
Yeah.
lot of mask or leather that you
Oh,
wear.
mask, yeah.
Yeah. So they
Okay.
start with, like, if you smell it individually,
Hmm.
it smells really bad, disgusting.
Yes.
Like you might even puke.
Hmm.
But when it's added into some things, the effect that it has, it's exceptionally good.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. So much to learn.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's a whole world.
It's a whole world. Yes.
No, since the time you wake up to the time you sleep, you don't even realize you're surrounded around flavors and fragrances.
Hmm.
If you want, I can give an example. Okay, so when you wake up, your toothpaste that contains flavors and fragrances.
Yes.
Your body wash, your lotion, your soap, your shampoo, everything has fragrances. Then after that, you apply your body cream that has fragrances.
Yeah, but do you believe fragrance is bad for you? Because there is a certain belief that it disrupts your endocrine system and
I wouldn't say fragrances are bad, but there are few raw materials that are bad, and that is why we have this regulation. It's called IFRA. So we go by the guidelines where they know that, okay, these things are not good, so they ban it. These things can be restricted. These raw materials you can use in certain percentage in body cream, in fragrances. It depends, because okay, body creams you apply it on your skin, even on your skin which is more sensitive, right? But sprays you probably do it on your clothes or probably your hand, which is not very sensitive. So they have whole regulatory to that.
Okay.
And
but do you think all products in India are IFRA regulated? Or
I am not sure, honestly.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I
Okay.
I haven't tested each and everything. I can talk about myself,
Yes.
which we do
which
through
would be
IFRA
easy.
regulations. And even I've stopped using DEP, which is the phthalates, which comes from plastic, which is not really good for you.
Okay, so
So I've eliminated those. I've started using different molecules for that. So it's more safer for the people
okay.
who are doing. Yeah,
So
obviously.
basically, synthetic perfumes are not bad for you.
No,
right?
no, not at all. It gives you, as a perfumer, as an artist, it gives us a way more, like okay, there's a painter, right? Now if you give them five colors and ask them to paint, it's going to be different. But then you give them much more colors, like you give them a whole Pantone shade.
Yes.
Like there are so many kinds of blues, there are so many kinds of reds. It's so much better. The creativity is there. You can do so much. So it's the same with perfumers. If you give them synthetic molecules, they're not bad. They just have a specific smell. Now, like for example, if I just want to increase the smell of a rose petal in a fragrance, I have a molecule. I can't. If I just put the rose oil, it's gonna enhance everything, and I don't want that. So it's not bad at all.
Speaking of synthetic ingredients, I just wanted to add that I've tried some lotions, let's say, that have fragrance in it.
Yeah.
And I've tried some natural lotions that had essential oils in it. So let's say the natural, the clean beauty is supposed to be more effective, obviously.
Yeah.
But I've tried it, and honestly, my skin didn't like it very much. Anyone who has a sensitive skin should be aware that even if the product doesn't have fragrance, but it has an essential oil or just a bit of scent in that, your skin might react a lot more to that than the one that has fragrance.
But quality of naturals, it will always be higher. It'll be more complicated. It'll be more amazing.
Yes.
It'll always be higher. But a lot of people, there's a difference, okay? A lot of brands say contains naturals oil.
Yeah.
And a lot of brands say this is natural essential oil. So there is the difference, This is where a lot of brands.
But let's be real, if it's a mass product, you can't afford using actual essential oils that are real, you know what I mean?
Yeah, some of the essential oils you can, which are cheaper. But when we talk about rose is this year's, I think the price is 15 lakh rupees per kilo. That is 15,000 pounds for 1 kilo. It takes 5,000 to 8,000 kilos of rose, 5 to 8 tons of rose to make a single kilo of rose oil.
Okay.
That's expensive.
That's
expensive. So in our industry, we have, I think, around 400 to 500 ingredients which are natural.
Okay.
And 4 of them comes from animal-based products. So one is the civet, that's a cat. The other one is castoreum, that's a cat. Then one is the deer musk that everybody knows. And then there's ambergris, which comes from the sperm whale. So these are 4 products which are banned in India.
Oh.
Yeah, a lot of people don't, because they harm the animal in ways that I don't think so I should be talking. So yeah, they really sweat them out. They really do bad stuff.
But good, we are moving into a direction, where it's cruelty free.
Yeah. In some countries, it's still legal, if I'm not wrong. But definitely in our country, in India, it's totally banned. Okay. And so we have molecules which smell like them, but it's not pure. It's not coming from
But I would
animals.
rather use a product like that is not maybe the purest form of
Yeah.
that than
Yeah,
compared
but it
to
smells
this.
very good. It
Okay.
smells very similar. So thank God that we've come out with molecules which smell like
That's
that, and we don't have
nice.
to harm any animals in
Very
the
good.
process.
Very good. What do you think about this trend? I don't know if you've seen this, but a lot of people throw away in the bin all their luxury perfumes for the reason that they're endocrine disruptors.
Exactly. Now, I don't know. People don't know that if it contains any of those ingredients or no.
Hmm.
The other day, I think I was seeing a reel. Someone has sent it to me, and this person sitting there is like 3,000, 3,000 raw materials or 3,000 ingredients that this fragrance has, or the fragrance industry has, is disrupting your endocrine. And I don't know, your hormones and whatnot. We have 4 to 5,000, maximum 6,000 raw materials. Like, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. That is all bullshit.
Also,
Yeah.
I feel that it's so hypocrite within this trend of clean beauty, where we're like, I don't want to put parabens on me. I don't want to put this ingredient, that ingredient. It has to be. There's nothing wrong with that kind
Yeah.
of thought process.
Yeah.
But in the kind of junk you eat, I'm sorry,
Exactly.
the kind of chemicals that are found in your food,
The
all the
pollution.
processed stuff.
The
you know?
pollution you're living in.
Exactly. And also that myth that whatever you apply on your skin, be it a cream or a perfume, it gets absorbed directly into your bloodstream.
Yeah.
It was already proven that it's a myth. It's not true. And the whole marketing around clean beauty is just based on that thing. That whatever you apply on your skin is going to end up in your bloodstream.
Wow.
It's not true, guys. Okay. So I want that perspective to shift.
Yeah.
Which is very ironic. I started my business as someone who was curating clean beauty.
Yeah.
And I realized that, okay, actually a lot of that was just marketing.
Wow.
We're just selling this idea.
So sad.
Throw away all your stuff and buy new stuff.
So sad.
That's this whole industry is only about this, right?
Yeah.
They want us overwhelmed with choices first and then give you, oh, this is the solution, right? Throw away that stuff and get this stuff. Right. So,
and as perfumers also, like, okay, I know that. I know for a fact that these things are bad for a person, or these things are banned, or these are hormone disruptors or whatever. So it's my thing to tell the brand, I'm not going to use these stuff. I'm not going to use these things. So I should take some responsibility as myself. That is where the goodwill comes from, right?
We have to be more conscious.
Exactly.
No doubt. But also be realistic,
True.
about what actually goes into your system. And that not everything gets really absorbed into your skin. And we as humans, not that fragile. I'm sorry, as a lot of people think.
We have survived a lot of things.
We have survived a lot of things, exactly. So Amal, tell me, I know it could be very obvious to someone that you're the fourth generation perfumer. It must have come very naturally to you. But how did you actually get into perfumery?
Okay, so if I have to say in a very short way, I was blackmailed by my dad to come back home. Coming from a very typical like Indian household. So I was studying music. I was supposed to be a musician. I was playing different kind of sports, and I was really good at both of them. I got a couple of scholarships here and there as well. And my dad calls me up. He's like, Amal, what are you gonna do? I'm like, I'm gonna do music. That's what I want to do. And he's like, Amal, no, you just come back. The whole family business is here. Who have I done this for and everything? So like, I was young. I came back home, and I really didn't want to do this. I tried going to universities and studying economics. It didn't work out for me as good as it's supposed to be. So I thought I'll come back. I'll do the finances because I was from a commerce background. And the lab was near the place where the whole accounts team and used to sit. So I entered the lab one day and I started smelling. I started just recognizing things because of the childhood that I had in my factories.
It's in your blood.
Yeah, it's in my blood. And then I started smelling everything and I was like, this is so easy. I recognize that. I recognize this. And then when I was smelling fragrances, the final fragrances, I was able to recognize the ingredients. So then I started mixing them. I started going more deeper into it. And then I realized I've always been a creative person, like into music, art, or something like that. I love art as well. And I always thought that this is probably not the business that I wanted to get into. But I did not know that there was an artistic side to it. And once I realized that, I just fell in love with it. I just fell in love with it like that.
Amazing.
It was love at first smell.
Love at first smell.
Yeah.
So you see, Indian ways of parenting, they work sometimes.
They work sometimes, yeah.
Thank you, Amal's dad.
So that is how I
Amazing.
got into perfumery, and then I never looked back. It was just creating, and it was just like it was just magic to me, because this is an intangible thing. You think of something, and then after a couple of months, a couple of weeks, it's right in front of you.
So we just touched the subject of the perfume industry in India, and with so many brands emerging these days, like I swear, every month, maybe every 2 months, there's a new brand
Every
coming
day.
in. Every day, okay, maybe every day there is a new brand. But how do you build a successful brand in India as a perfumer?
I think first of all, you need to be true to the brand. If I'm
Okay.
coming out with something, I should give the people something which I would wear, right? And a lot of people don't think that way. They might be using an expensive fragrance but giving out a cheap one.
Okay.
A lot of people do that.
But what about serving to the to the consumer? We find out that most people like fresh fragrances, or
Yeah.
they like a certain type of oud.
Yeah.
What are the most popular fragrances in India, by the way? Within
So
the
it's
masses?
fresh, but oud is growing to the next level.
Yes.
Market is low right now, but it's growing to the next level. Like I have not seen any fragrance or any fragrance profile going up so fast.
Also, I think sweet fragrances. I've noticed that in India, any fragrance, even if it's oud or fresh, if it's sweet, it really appeals to most people.
Do you know
right?
why?
Why?
Because India is a market where people want long lasting.
Yeah.
And things like vanilla, vanillin, the molecule
Vanilla, yes.
vanillin, it makes fragrances last long. Sweet gourmand fragrances last way longer.
Oh, that's true. I've noticed that. Very nice. Very nice.
So that is why sweet gourmand fragrances work in India really, really well. Even the fresh ones work, but then people always have a complaint that it's not long lasting. And sometimes people using a good long lasting fragrance, they call it not long lasting because they go nose blind. Nose blind.
Nose blind, yeah.
Yeah. So what happens is, like, you keep eating sugar and then you eat an apple.
Yes.
You will feel the apple is not sweet at all. But you leave sugar for 20-21 days, a month, and then you eat an apple.
Yeah.
Same thing with fragrances.
It actually happened to me. So we have a perfume which is called Fitur. It's a beautiful, earthy, sensual perfume that has ambroxan, by the way. Yes, it has saffron, amber, and we make extrait de perfumes.
Yeah.
Right. So the concentration is at least 30% at a minimum. Sometimes we make 35, 30% as a minimum. So I make sure that the fragrance is actually long lasting.
Yeah.
All right. And I had no complaints ever from anyone, but there was one lady who purchased 2 bottles of that perfume because she loved the scent so much. So she got 2 bottles. The next day, she's sending me a message. Hi, I applied your perfume, but it wasn't long lasting, as you said. The scent disappeared the moment I walked down to my lobby. I was shocked, honestly. I was surprised. I thought, how can something like that happen? Because I, on the other hand, feel my perfumes are quite strong.
Yeah.
Quite is an understatement. They're very, very strong. For someone who doesn't like strong, perfumes, they want to go for like EDTs.
I just have a message for that woman.
Yes.
Listen, you have gone nose blind. Really.
He tried the perfumes. He said, yeah, I mean, not a problem. I felt just bad for her, honestly. And of course, I've sent the money back, and she got
that's
resolved.
So sweet,
yes, not
customer service on point.
Customer service on point. Yeah, but I guess the fragrance, the perfume, is a very personal choice, of course.
It is very personal, and let it be personal. It's good. There's some things which everything doesn't have to be massy. Everything doesn't have to be mass produced. Let some things be close to you. Let some things be for you.
Okay, that's nice. That's another thing that I've noticed, the difference between the perfumes and attars.
Yeah.
Right? The perfumes are, to create that aura around yourself. You walk in, everybody can, smell you. It could be subtle, it could be strong, right? But the attars, they're for you and for someone who can come very close to you, right? So they're more intimate.
Yeah. And they're heavy.
They're heavy.
Yeah,
also,
because once you add the fragrance oil, so basically attars and perfumes. Perfumes are made with those attars. So attars, essential oils, some people these days with the words, they confuse a lot of things.
Okay.
Let me just tell you that. So essential oils are the ones which are distilled, the natural oils. Then attars can be a mixture of compound, but they're oils. And these oils can be added with alcohol to make a fragrance. Yeah. So when it's there in that oil form, it's more, the molecule is more heavier, everything is more heavy, so it feels more that way. But when you add it into an alcohol, the fragrance blooms. So that's the difference, I would say, in Attar or
Nice. Do you like to layer your perfumes with attars?
love it.
Love it.
Love it. It
Nice.
just gives that extra edge to it.
Extra edge to
Yeah.
it. Good, good. Okay. How do you like to layer it? Do you like to use, let's say, fresh fragrance for yourself, but then add some attar that is more oudi or?
Yeah, I love the French Oriental thing. Okay, so there's this thing that's happening new in the market. Before it used to be either your oud and Arab fragrances, either it used to be those French fresh fragrances. But now there's something called French Orientals. So it has a base of oud, amber, musk, heavy notes, and on the top it's more fresh with fruity or citruses or any kind of thing. So right now there's this fragrance that I smelled and I've been working on it as well. It's passion fruit with oud.
Oh.
It's so amazing. Previously, I worked with grapefruit with oud as well, grapefruit with amber, grapefruit with musk. I'm working right now mango with musk as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So there are so many things.
Yeah, and the message, people shouldn't be afraid of using attars.
Exactly.
Like, I feel that if it's an attar, it's something very cheap.
No.
Right? But actually, I think they're more expensive to make.
Yeah,
right?
some of them can
some
be way more expensive than
it could
any
be like
of
a
your
small
fragrances.
bottle, right?
Yeah.
For you to carry. But the price of that could be.
Recently, I think I got a sample from one of my clients and he wanted to do something in that
Yes.
range. I think for 10 ml of that, it had costed him £1,000
Wow.
just for 10 ml.
Wow.
So yeah, Attars can be
the real perfume enthusiasts.
the real ones.
The real ones. The real ones.
And I say smell is the most underrated sense to exist. Because okay, you can see something, it could be wrong. You can hear something, it could be wrong. But when you smell, even when you were super young, you will have that kind of sense, okay, that was a good memory for me, or wasn't that a good memory for me? It will give you everything. Your heart will go up and down. You might get goosebumps, you might not get goosebumps. Something, it might be like you know something, but you can't still pinpoint, but you feel it. That is what fragrances make you do. For example, could be for one person, lavender, everyone says it's more calming, it's more relaxing, right? But who knows, some people might have.
Not for me, by the way. I cannot take it. I cannot take it.
Yeah, I was just coming to that. Some people might have some experiences with lavender which is not good. Yes. So it doesn't matter how calming properties it has, but if you don't have a good experience with lavender, you might feel bad whenever you smell it.
It is very overpowering for me.
See?
And I don't feel sleepy after lavender.
See?
I don't know.
I think it's a very personal thing. Fragrances connects with your memories directly.
Yes.
Because it's intangible. This is not like your clothes or your shoes which you can feel.
That's why I wanted the fragrance with the freshly printed money scent. You know, I'm telling you, it's going to be a new thing. You're going to reprogram your mind, your brain into thinking, into changing your state of being, probably feeling a little more abundant and happier.
Manifesting more money.
Yes, manifesting more money.
No, I think
we should collaborate on this.
Yeah. I think once I finish the compound, I will definitely give you the first bottle. Yeah.
Yes. How was it growing up in a family where everything is about perfume? Do you have any beautiful memories, maybe? Or
I have beautiful ones, some funny ones as well.
Tell
like
us.
If you're a smoker, you can't smoke and come into your house because your dad is a perfumer and he will know. Doesn't matter how much you hide.
That one, okay.
So that is one of the things. You can't do shit. Yeah. And everything is so heightened. Like even when the food is cooking, you smell each and every ingredient. You recognize that. Okay, people can smell, but here you recognize that. Yeah. The chefs in your house that are working for you, okay, they're always under pressure because you understand flavors and fragrances as good as they do.
The maid in your house, also the one who cleans the house, she's also under the pressure that everything has to be clean. Yeah.
So even when we do our pochas in our house, the cleaning, so we use citronella, we use lemongrass in the house as well.
Very nice.
Because we have access to the best quality of it.
Okay. So you don't use Lysol and stuff like that.
But to make it better, to give that steroid feel, we use lemongrass and citronella as well.
Nice.
So these things, and growing up, it was really good. So I still have a memory with my younger cousin. Whenever there was a flower distillation, so mogra, the white flower, when we used to come, it used to be like beds, like heaps of flower. And then we used to play hide and seek in that.
Wow.
Yeah, run around the factory, just go inside that, come out of that. It was such a great memory, and we didn't realize that it would affect us so much I don't know if it affected me so much that when I grew up and I came back home and I entered the lab, I could recognize all the fragrances just like that.
Wow.
So that is the thing when you say, right, perfume is in the blood. So it comes like that. Yeah, I've been smelling raw materials, ingredients, fragrances since the age of 2.
Wow.
When my father used to come from the factory, he used to smell a certain way. I recognize each and every note from that.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Because when I started making perfumes, because I don't have this background of doing this since I was a child, I get easily overwhelmed.
yeah.
And I actually started when I was pregnant, which was how many 3 years ago.
No,
This is when
that's
yeah, not the best time to start a perfume business, okay? So I would come home and we receive all these samples, and I started with the simple fragrances, natural ones, and only jasmine, mogra, sandalwood. We also had like a very gardeny floral mix, rose, your gulab. Experimented with musk as well, So we did all that, and me being pregnant, experimenting with those ingredients, the headaches I used to get. So maybe my child. I am the first generation perfumer. Yeah, I'm the first generation perfumer, and maybe my son, he might take it after me, and he won't get so overwhelmed with the scent.
Because he's probably been smelling since he was in your stomach.
Yes.
So yeah. No, it's good. It's good. This industry is great right now.
True.
Yeah. Anything related to fragrances, I think right now is working really well. I've seen the boom, like after COVID, I don't know what happened to the world. They just started spending more. Literally the graph didn't go like that. It literally went like that.
Wow.
It just shot up.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we used to look for people who want to start their own brand or something, and now people come to us, and now we are the people we are like choosing, like, okay, we can work with them, we cannot work with them. So it's crazy how the market has just shifted.
I spoke to some people who worked with skincare brands. They founded, I'm not going to name them, but they founded some of the biggest skincare brands in India, mass market. Okay. And some of them moved from that to fragrances.
Yeah.
Not just because that the market shifted, but their primary reason, as they said, was that, there is just no room for innovation right now in skincare.
Yeah.
It's just like, it is what it is. You can market it differently. So only marketing changes,
Or the packaging.
The packaging and stuff like that. But they just didn't see the room for innovation as such. And some of them got into fragrance because this is where you can experiment. This is where you can alter, your formulations to the consumer. And that market is growing like crazy right now. And as someone also who worked with skincare before, right, I founded Mama Story as a skincare brand for mothers and babies. The primary reason was that I wanted a product that would suit not just babies, but also mothers.
Yeah.
So that you don't have to buy different brands, different products. The whole family can use them because if the products are natural and high quality, I believe there shouldn't be no, difference as such. Because you won't believe it, but actually there could be the same product made in the same factory. They'll just put a label there for babies and another one would be for someone else, just hypoallergenic formula, obviously. But at the end, it's just marketing.
It's just that.
It's just that. Right? So,
oh my God. And even when we were talking about how perfumers for the Western world and here, people don't even know. A lot of people don't even know that things like perfumers, like people like perfumers exist who actually create these things.
Yeah.
They have no idea. And whenever I need a slight of ego boost, I go to Paris. So there's a story that I have.
Oh, please.
So I entered this bar called Harry's Bar in Plaza Vendôme. And as soon as I entered, there was this woman and they were with a couple of friends, her husband and everyone was there. And she just looked at me and she's like, I'm like, yeah, it's me. I knew that it's me smelling the best in the bar, obviously. I'm like, it's me. And then she asked me, which fragrance are you wearing? And I said, I made it for myself. No. And then she's like, what do you do? So I'm like, I'm a perfumer. I'm a nose. I just told her, je suis le nez. I think that's the right pronunciation if I'm not wrong. So, and then she was so happy. She literally hugged me for 10 minutes and she cried. Wow. She had tears in her eyes. Wow. And she's like, we really need to respect you all more. This work that you're doing, like as a perfumers, as perfumery, people don't know, people don't recognize this, but it is a form of art which is exceptionally good. And that day I realized that, okay, Okay, people do feel a lot of emotions. People do feel a lot of overwhelming emotions
Wow.
or anything through fragrances. And that is when I started taking it way more seriously. I started being more mindful about it and gave me more respect towards fragrances and perfumes and smells.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So beautiful. Have you ever had this kind of reaction in India?
No,
Honestly, not yet, but have you heard
they
about
just
it?
think that I might have a store or I might have a shop with
Okay.
perfumes. They don't even understand, or a
Okay.
lot of people don't even comprehend that, okay, there's a lab and there are molecules, there are essential oils where people mix things and create fragrances.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's gonna change. It's gonna
Oh,
change very soon.
I
We
really
are
hope
here for that.
so.
We're here for that
Yeah,
only,
we're here
right?
for that. I really hope so. And I
Yes.
hope with TATTVA, the Indian brands and the Indian roots come out really well. I really wish that.
Oh, thank you. Then let's try some perfumes.
Yeah,
You
let's do
can
that.
guess some
I would
notes.
love that.
You can test the nose.
Yes.
Yes.
Always excited.
Yes, very excited. Come, just get us any perfumes. Do you want the paper strips also?
Okay. Let's see.
Let's see. Yes.
The feel is extremely good.
Tested by Amal Jain, the fourth generation perfumer. Thank you very much.
No, really have used a really good quality of the sleeve, yeah?
Thank you. Celebrating the Indian perfumery.
Should we go with some ASMR?
I know.
People love these things these days.
Yeah. So what are you holding right now? These are two of my favorite perfumes that are from women's collection.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And I think they really represent India.
Is it your new collection or is it like from the... Ooh.
It's one of the very first ones that I have created, actually.
Should I use this one strip or you need a strip as well? You must
No,
have
no.
smelled it like
Yeah,
100,000 times.
yes. I can recognize it from far.
Always, guys, always spray like that. Because if you spray too close, the alcohol is going to be there and you're not going to smell the fragrance first. You're going to smell alcohol and then you are going to say the perfume is bad.
Oh,
well, it is
good,
not.
Good point. I swear, good point.
Yeah.
Because I also
Look again, guys. That is how you spray.
Like this. Nice. So, yeah, we could guess the notes.
I love Ambroxon, ambergris. It's
Yes.
so good. I can smell the saffron.
So you see, everybody is so different. First, it hits me with the saffron.
Yeah, for me, it's
For you, it's
Ambroxon. I think it's my favorite
what's your
molecule.
favorite? Yes.
I want to get a tattoo as well. I was just telling Adya about that I want to get a tattoo. And the reaction was like...
Somebody gets a tattoo of their dog or girlfriend or something like that they really love.
I really love this note.
You really love the note. Okay.
It's so sweet. It's intimate, but it's still so bold, I would say. You know?
Any place in India that probably reminds you of?
Kashmir, really.
Oh.
Because of the saffron, it's just standing out so much. And it has that kind of a coolness to it, like that cold, minty notes to it, I feel. That is just making me feel, like I'm having a saffron kahwa in Kashmir near a water body flowing like a lake or something, and then I'm just washing my face. It's so cold. Wow. It's so nice. Yeah, so cozy as well. Delicious, very delicious.
Thank you.
I can just eat it. No, it's really amazing. It's really good.
Lovely.
And the bottle quality is very good. Like I can see through it.
You can see through. Yeah, it's very minimal, honestly. And all bottles are made in India.
Oh,
yes.
Wow. I need the number of your, of your guy.
Of course.
Let's get on with the other one. Arman.
So I do not speak Hindi, but picking these words, picking the names for the perfumes were quite a challenge. But I wanted it to be Indian and to represent each fragrance.
Yeah.
So Arman to me stands for desire, the lover, right? So I wanted it to represent the beauty of Indian rituals. To me, it smells like, then you could say jasmine.
Yeah, it smells
very
so white
strong
floral. Let me just,
jasmine.
Guys, again.
Yeah.
Wow. It's such a different creamy gourmand jasmine,
It has.
It's beautiful. It has a nice sillage also, I think, because I sprayed it here, and if you could smell it till there, it's... Wow.
Wow.
I think that's the
I
concentration we're
yes.
talking about.
I had people telling me. Okay.
Yeah, no?
Wow. Yeah, they complement each other. I would say this is for the day wear,
Yeah.
right? You can layer it too, yes.
Let's try layering them.
And it's very strong. I had people saying it lasts 2 days actually.
Yeah.
You can't wash it.
Wow. And I think using Fitur as a base and then jasmine on the top, it might work really well. I just tried that.
Wow, I haven't thought about that.
Yeah.
It's a good. Then we can sell it as a combo.
Yeah, and even jasmine with saffron, it goes really well.
Yeah.
Wow. I can smell some ilang also in your Arman. Ilang.
Yes.
Yeah. It's giving
adds
that
a little, not like citrusy, but like,
slight spicy, sweet jasmine note, which is just elevating jasmine,
yeah, because it's fresh, it's floral, but it's very fresh also. I feel.
Yeah. Love it.
Beautiful.
Love it.
Thank you.
Great.
You have no idea how it feels, okay, to have your perfumes rated by the fourth generation perfumer. Okay, I'm very happy.
I'm going to take them with me, okay?
Please. You know, this is the third time we're meeting and I never gifted you a perfume because I felt that, oh my God, he has so much stuff. There's so much perfume. I didn't want to like overwhelm you with more stuff.
Perfumes are never enough.
Oh, okay.
They're never enough. They're never, ever enough.
Good.
You always want more and more and more.
Perfume addicts.
Addicts, yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I really love the packaging as well. It's so nice.
Thank you.
And so detailed. The one thing I really liked on your packaging is you've mentioned all the notes. So it's easier and good for people to understand. You know, that is how people would learn as well. Okay. I love the word Junoon.
Yes.
I can definitely smell those earthy notes to it with that aquatic, sweet, green freshness to it. Wow. I'd actually love to wear this. Yeah, it's good. Junoon. Yeah, this one.
Junoon.
Yeah, this one actually.
Thank you. I'm so happy.
It stood out for me. Wow. Divana. That's a nice name.
This is again one of my favorite perfumes.
Divana?
Within the men's perfumes. Yeah, it's because it smells so unique and rich.
Yeah.
It smells very rich and unique. And for me, this is how India smells. This is very much inspired by India.
Yeah. But probably what you
if
said.
You sell it somewhere abroad, if I sell it abroad,
100% is going to work really good.
It's
going to pick up so good. But India, because they eat this stuff like every day. Indian, like that's the household thing, right? And sometimes they don't want to smell like what they eat in the kitchen. But it's an exceptionally good spicy mix of fragrance. You know, it's.
Thank you. I like the depth. You know, it opens. It opens very differently. It opens differently on skin also, and it opens up differently through the day.
Yeah, and a lot of people say you shouldn't rub it or something. No. It doesn't matter. Yeah, it's good. It's very woody. It's very woody in the.
See, so you apply it on your skin, it smells completely different.
Completely different. Yeah. No, but it's good. I love black pepper myself. I love wearing black pepper, so I think this is a really good one for me.
Same. And I would see it honestly as a unisex fragrance myself. I don't
These days all fragrances have been unisex. There's nothing. Women like to wear men fragrances. Men like to wear women fragrances, and it's just become very normal. I think it was just an ego thing even before. Like people used to like women fragrances, but it was just a male ego thing that, I don't want to wear women fragrances. But now everything's, I think, more.
It's like ordering a cocktail at a bar.
Yeah.
Whiskey on the rocks for me, and then in the exchange.
After a couple of whiskeys, cocktails come in. Oh my God. No, but it's a really, really, you've done a really good job. Yeah. The packaging with everything.
I'm beyond happy. This means so much for me, honestly. The fourth generation perfumer, Amal Jain. No, there's just that. I mean, beyond being a perfumer, you're also a friend. Yeah. And it's so nice to see that your product is appreciated. It's really nice. Thank you.
For an artist, I think that's the best thing. So you get that.
Yeah.
Just let me add one more thing, guys. The first 5 people who comment on the video are gonna get these TATTVA perfumes right on the house, and they're worth 2,500.
Let's get to quick fire round. Okay. Quick questions. Simple, easy answers, no lying. Okay, just
Oh,
whatever first comes to your mind. All right.
I'm an honest man,
You're
okay?
an honest man, yes. Okay. Most overrated perfume.
Dude, Dior Sauvage. For sure. For
Thank
sure.
God. Thank God someone said that. Guys, please.
Yeah, just there are
Please.
10,000 similar family fragrances. Go out there, check them out. They're massive, great. They're really good. They're amazing. Just go and experiment, guys, please.
Amazing. Okay. According to you, what's the smell of success? Maybe a note or something.
According to me, it's oud.
Oud.
But the pure oud.
But the pure oud.
Not
Yes.
the oud what you get in the market.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the one scent that instantly turns you off?
Oh my god.
Something that you just can't stand.
I can't, like, it's just I just for me, you're asking the wrong question. This is a very wrong question.
Okay, you love everything.
I love everything that
And
smells.
everything can be played around, right? Like you said,
Yeah.
you can layer, everything can work out for different people.
I'm happy
also,
that I
right?
can smell, you know.
Nice. Okay, good. Most overrated perfume trend that is going on right now.
It's gourmand. Gourmand, yeah.
Okay.
Like it just came up with all the chocolates and everything because it's long lasting and vanilla, but it's I think there are way more things like in gourmand. It's not just vanilla. You can use mangoes, you can use different kinds of fruits, and it's just working very well.
What
But
do you
I
think
think
about
it's a little
pistachio?
overrated.
Pistachio
Yeah,
Pistachio is doing very
The
well.
Dubai
It's more
chocolate
nutty,
fragrance.
yeah. It's more nutty. It's quite trendy.
Yeah.
So I'm on a diet currently, all right, and like I've cut out sugar completely. I don't eat anything, even my coffee black, nothing else.
Nothing else.
So for me, my guilty pleasure is spraying a bit of perfume that is sweet,
Wow.
like pistachio, nutty,
Nutty.
that feels like a desert.
You
Like,
have a fragrance, I
I
think, in
actually
your
have
line.
it. It's down there. I think it's
Yeah.
called Kuch Khas. I didn't launch it yet.
No, I think I have it. You have given me. I have it in
Yeah,
my
you
office as
did.
well, and I
Yeah.
used it as well.
Kuch Khas. I wanted to call it Mitai, but my husband was like, "You don't understand, okay? People are not gonna like it. Like this is too much." You
It's a
can't-
nice cap, yeah.
Oh, thanks. It's wooden.
Yeah, yeah. It smells. It smells like a dessert for sure.
Sure, yeah. So if I can't eat a dessert, sometimes I want to smell like that.
Now I get it.
Yeah, now you get it. Yeah.
No, it's a good one.
Mm.
It smells so much like pistachio, nutty, vanilla.
And also, I've noticed there is this difference between the millennials and Gen Z.
Mm-hmm.
We being millennials, sometimes we just want to smell like nobody else. We
Yeah.
want the weird sense, meaning like no,
Like standing out, basically standing out. Yeah,
meaning
true.
like leather,
Yeah.
earthy, something like
Love
veggie. Where
leather.
they're not, we want different. We don't want to, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
We want to smell rich,
Yeah.
basically. We want to smell rich. And with Gen Z, I feel that they want to smell edible. When it comes to
Yeah,
girls,
they do,
want
they
these
do.
fruity, gourmand
Yeah,
kind
gourmand
of.
notes. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is coming from that, I think. And they're more true to themselves.
Yeah.
I feel they're really true
They're
to
true
themselves.
to themselves.
Yes.
They're not hesitant at all.
Yeah, we want to make an impression. We want to make an impression for sure.
No, but it's gourmands are overrated right now. I feel there are so many other fragrances, so many other families, profiles
Yeah.
that should be working really well. So yeah.
Okay, let's move. What perfume that gives main character energy? Maybe something that you really like.
Okay. Right now, what I'm wearing, that gives main character energy to me, at least.
You're too far from me, and there's so much perfume in the air.
There's so much perfume. I think grapefruit with black tea is a good one.
Ooh,
Yeah, that is what
nice.
I created and for myself, and I'm wearing that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, I need to try that. Okay. Now we're gonna do. I'm gonna name a perfume, and again, I want honest, quick answer to that.
Done.
No overthinking. Okay. Chanel No. 5, classic or outdated?
Outdated.
Ooh,
Really outdated.
really
Yeah.
outdated. We need
Yeah.
to. We need to.
Yeah,
come up with
because
some-
it's a very old formula,
Yeah.
and there's still the DNA is great. I wouldn't deny that. It's a classic, yes, but it's outdated as well because people need to do something with it. Like if you want Chanel No. 5, there are so many more new ingredients that's come in the market for us to
Yes.
experiment. Let's do something with it,
Nice. True. Yeah. Le Labo Santal 33.
Classic. I love it.
You love
I
it,
love
right?
it. Sandalwood.
Yes,
So
sandalwood. Yes, me too. I absolutely love it. And I can now, whenever I walk into the room and I can recognize somebody's wearing Santal 33, immediately, I'm like, okay, I want to sit
you're
next to
getting
you.
there.
Okay. Baccarat Rouge smells rich or smells like everyone?
Everyone else smells like
Everyone.
everyone in the room.
Okay.
And it's such a nice fragrance that you
nice
can layer
fragrance.
with so many things and it would smell different.
Mm.
And it's a really good thing for a base note as well. So you can use
Yeah.
a fresh fragrance. You can first put
Mm.
baccarat and you can put like a good fresh fragrance on top. It would smell good.
Nice. Dior Sauvage, masculine magic, or mall boy energy?
Should I even give a reaction to that?
Yeah, I need. I just want more people to know about this.
I think more boy energy.
Mall boy energy. Okay.
I don't think that requires even a single reaction. Like, come on.
Tom Ford, Oud Wood, a real oud love or Western fantasy?
Western fantasy for sure.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I'm so happy.
It's not woody, it's woody.
Yeah. So the first time I smelled Tom Ford Oud Wood, I liked it, honestly. But so I wasn't aware yet of what real oud smells like.
Yeah.
Then I've tried that real oud and I was like, okay, this is not oud. I don't know what you guys are selling, but it just doesn't smell like that.
Yeah.
It doesn't at all.
Exactly. Real oud smells like when you walk in Dubai Mall and then you smell these shakes, the leathery, the nice woody notes. That's oud.
Good stuff. Jo Malone, Peony and Blush Suede. Light and pretty or basic and forgettable?
Light and pretty.
Light and pretty.
Nice.
Nice. I like
and also unforgettable a little bit.
Okay, yeah, okay. It was a bit forgettable, yes. Okay. Any ZARA dupe perfume. Is it affordable genius or fake French?
ZARA fragrances. Actually,
there's so many of them also.
So many of them, really. And honestly, they have done a very good job. But then again,
I really I like the women's fragrances in ZARA. Men's I've tried. I was like, okay, this is bad.
Yeah.
Most of them smell kind of like alcohol.
Kind of rancid-y.
And not.
Yeah, it
smells cheap. Also.
It smells cheap. Yeah,
cheap. I'm sorry.
they have great marketing cost over them. So
buy TATTVA perfumes.
Yes, you should.
Yes, we should. Okay, nice. I think I'm out of all the perfume lists. Yes.
Okay.
Can you tell me your most favorite, most iconic scent that you've ever made yourself?
Oh my God. Okay. So it's a very classic. It's the first fragrance actually. It's your first fragrance, and then you have kind of a like how you had your first baby, right? So it's as good as that. I created something it's unforgettable. It has oud, it has rose, it has saffron. Super clean, super simple, super straightforward, but still absolutely rich. It smells so rich.
Wow.
Yeah. Then I have another fragrance called The Lover from Mykonos that is very close to my heart actually. And it's there on my reel as well, one of the reels that I have. Yeah, it's just based on someone that
you met on Mykonos.
Yeah. No, she was from Mykonos.
She was from Mykonos.
Yeah.
What a beautiful island.
Yeah, so I just didn't want it to go away like that. And there's a saying, obviously I say it always, once an artist falls in love with you, you never die. You're always alive. Yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
So
yes,
I think it's called the first one is called Wazir, and it's a really great fragrance. I still love it so much.
Amazing. Wow. So coming also to the subject of making custom fragrances again, I feel that could be. Do you think it could be like the next big thing?
This is
customized fragrances, exclusivity.
Yeah,
yes.
This is the real This is real luxury. This is the next level of luxury. Okay, you can go buy a Baccarat Rouge for XYZ amount. You can go buy a Clash Christian for a $500 fragrance, but there's no exclusivity in there. But when it comes to private perfumery, that is where you get exclusivity.
And you want something that smells like you.
Yeah.
Or like the highest version of you.
Exactly.
Right? Something that you
the best version of you.
Best version
of you. You're not getting something which is there in the market.
Yeah. So you rightfully said that these days the Indian perfume industry is booming with dupes.
Yeah,
right?
it is.
And it happens, of course, because demand creates this kind of situation, right? People only trust French perfumes.
Yeah.
So certain brands are cashing on that idea,
True.
because it's so much easier to market a perfume that is already an icon than create a new perfume, right? But also, I feel that's not creating a brand, that's doing business.
Exactly.
Right? You're doing business. You could be doing a really good business, by the way. You could make a lot of money on that, right? But if you want to launch a successful brand that is actually a brand and not just a business where you're bottling dupes and selling it in a different packaging, right? What would you do to do that?
So if you want to launch an Indian brand, or if you just want to launch a fragrance brand, okay, we know that there was a time when they used sex for selling their fragrances and all these things. But okay, that was a time, there was a market, and people understood that.
I remember the ads; they were iconic.
Yeah, like women just running towards the men.
Yeah. And it hits that spot, why would you buy a perfume? Why would you buy a deodorant, that
before
you apply it and then everybody's so crazy about you.
Yeah. So that is before it was for desire, but now it's become a necessity. That's what has changed. So now if you want to launch a brand, I think you should focus on your story. You should focus on it being very natural, very clean to you. What you're comfortable telling to the people, what you're comfortable speaking out to your audience, right? Like how you're doing with TATTVA, right? It's as simple as that. Your story, your thing, you're keeping it straight, simple, not super complicated. And you're doing a great one. You come out with super good fragrances, everything.
Yeah. So I feel like in today's day and age, there are two businesses that will flourish. One is AI tech-driven business, right? Any company that is just using it to the maximum is going to do really well. Or a personal brand.
Yeah.
A personal brand is very strong.
Very strong.
Very strong.
Right? Very strong.
But what do you think about celebrities launching their own perfume brands?
So I'll tell you something.
Does that guarantee a success, by the way, if a celebrity launches a perfume brand?
I'm not sure. It doesn't. It doesn't. And there's a reason. I'll give you an example, okay? Before a couple of years, you would only see fragrance brands like Dior or Gucci, the fashion houses, right? But now you see people like MFK, the Maison Francis Kurkdjian, and you see Maison Crivelli, you see Frederic Malle, you see all these perfumers coming out with their own brand.
Yes.
And they're doing really, really well.
A portrait of a lady. I love that perfume.
It's such a great fragrance.
Yes.
And these fragrance brands are owned by perfumers. They themselves are perfumers. There's a reason the market is shifting. People are believing and trusting more towards the knowledge.
Yes.
Rather than just
Amal, we can't wait for your brand then.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got a beautiful name also.
I am
Amal,
working with two of my
name.
friends. And I'm working with two of my friends on that.
Nice.
Right now.
And you can have so many collections, honestly.
Yeah.
You can have collection even with TATTVA.
Yeah. Why not?
Nice.
So it's been great. Yeah. So if you just want to launch your own fragrance brand, just be true to yourself. Just be true to the fragrance that you're launching. And we are there, like people like us, we are there to help you get your brand out there. We understand fragrances. We understand this is where private perfumery and creating fragrances for brands come in line, because I understand you and I create according to that. There's another Indian that's doing really well. It's called Soul, and I'm doing it with two of my friends. We all three are together, and it's a really great brand. Again, not dupes, not these things. Something nice, something original. And we had launched it. We had done a drop with Amal Jain, and then Sahil Zayden. He's Zayden. So Zayden is one of the partners with us. Ayushman, his manager, and we three have started this brand, and it's doing really good. But we are evolving the brand. Now we see how the packaging, the marketing, and everything is required. So we're changing the branding, and we're just giving it an upgrade. We're just giving a new touch to it, which is going to be exceptionally beautiful. I just can't wait for it.
Me too.
I have a couple of things on my phone, but I just can't show yet.
Okay, we'll be waiting for that, sister.
Yeah, and Soul means stories of life. That is where our whole thing came out from.
Yeah, I asked you, can a celebrity-led brand actually work? Celebrity-owned brand?
There are a few it can be worked, but they need to understand that your brand is first and you are second. It's not like it's not a continuation or a thing of you. The brand itself, that's the hero product there. It's not you.
Yes. Yeah, there were quite a few celebrity-led brands, not fragrance. I'm not aware very much about celebrity-owned fragrance line. Usually, it's just a line.
Yeah.
Very rarely, it's a brand.
Yeah.
So I think Kylie launched her skincare cosmetics
Yeah.
brand, which failed very badly, simply because of the product was bad. The branding, the marketing, everything was on point, and she has this
Right.
huge influence.
Yeah.
The
Massive
brand
influence.
failed because the product sucks.
Yeah.
Right? So you can't. If the product sucks, it's not going to sell. Okay,
Exactly.
it's something that people need to understand, that it's not solely the brand and the story.
Based on the face.
Yes, based on the face, exactly. So, and sometimes if you become irrelevant, your
Yeah.
brand shouldn't get irrelevant.
Exactly a point. When you're launching a brand, okay, when you're doing movies or when you're doing anything else, you're creating a music, that is you. But when you're launching a brand, you should treat brand, as a whole,
Yes.
not as your something, like your
True.
continuation or what you're giving out to them.
Yes. And I also noticed this trends that people trust celebrities less.
Yeah, it's
these days.
because people are getting knowledge. There's ChatGPT, there's everything. People just go and type there, and they get all the knowledge any which ways.
If it's like, let's say it's a skincare brand that is launched by a famous dermatologist,
Yeah.
really like a doctor that they trust, let's
Yeah.
say, I feel that brand would do much better
Definitely.
than
Definitely.
a brand that is launched by some celebrity,
Yeah, exactly.
whoever she
100%.
is. Yes, exactly. And
That
I
is
feel
why
similar,
those niche perfumeries, that's what we talked about. The niche perfumeries
niche
are working much
perfumeries.
better.
Yes.
Brands buy perfumers. Why Baccarat Rouge is number one in the world? Because it is by a perfumer. People understood that, and people accepted that that his work is to create fragrances, and that is why it's working really well.
Yes. Thank you so much, Amal.
No
This
worries.
has been wonderful. I've learned so much. I think our viewers did that too. And I can't wait to see your new perfume creations.
Yes, soon.
Yes.
And hopefully people start understanding that, okay, Indian perfumers, Indian perfumery is also as good as, I'm not saying someone's better, someone's less better, but as good as the Western or the French perfumery or the Italian perfumery that people think.
True, and has a much richer history also. And it's this industry in India, I think it's growing already beautifully. And I believe that maybe in a few years, Indian perfumery would be ranked top of the world.
Yeah. Like, share, subscribe, guys.
Hey, thank you.